Welcome to my channel. Today in this video we'll see what are the things you need to learn to land into a software job as a fresher. Like we'll see what when you don't know anything from scratch, how to start, how to learn, what are the things you need to know to land as a SDE as a fresher, or if you want to join some product-based company as a SDE intern, that is software engineering intern. We'll see what are the things you need to know, like what is the roadmap you need to follow. See, first of all, what should you know? You should know a programming language. So, which programming language? Anything like C++ or Python or Java or anything, whatever the language you like, you can start with one of them. If you don't know, you are confused like what language to choose, then I would suggest you to go with one of the C++ or Python or Java. Like C++ is kind of preferable when you want to do competitive coding also, and Python is kind of easy to learn, and Java is like more into oops kind of thing. Like if you're someone who is into like mobile application development, something like that, then you can prefer Java also, because there are many companies prefers Java also. Like there are like legacy code bases which are written in Java. So anything is fine as long as you're good at one programming language. That is good enough. And whenever you want to learn the other programming language, that is very easy. Like once you know one language, the basic programming constructs will remain across the languages. So if you try to become master in one of the language instead of learning some in this, some in that, just try to master one of the language, and then later whenever you want to learn something, you can easily pick up those languages because the basics remain same. So try to learn one of the language. Further, there are like a lot of resources you can the better, like you can refer some book which is on this one of the language you chosen, or you can refer some course or something like that, and try to master that language, like learn all the basic things, programming things, like loops, for loops, while, if conditions, everything like from basics to till like mid level or little bit advanced. Try to learn things. Okay, so once you know, let's assume that you have read did the first step, like completing programming language. Then the second step is like learning data structures and algorithms. This is very important step, but don't jump into data structures and algorithms until you are until you learn one programming language. Otherwise, it is very difficult. So try to master one language, then start slowly preparing, learning data structures and algorithms, and don't simply read theory while learning the programming language or while learning the data structures. In both the cases, try to solve some problems also. Try to implement some codes. For example, let's say in data structures and algorithms, you are learning binary search or you are learning sorting. Try to take some small array and try to implement it, and try to implement the code and see whether it's working or not. In that way only you will learn. If you just read theory, then that is no use. So always kind of keep a balance between the theory and implementation. So whenever you read something or learn something, try to go and implement it, or try to solve some problems on it. There are like a lot of websites like CodeChef, Code Forces, HackerRank, Hacker. There are a lot of websites. I have made a video on that one. I have kept the link for description for that one also. If you want to know like what are the websites you need to know for practicing programming, you can refer that one. So key solve, learn something, solve some problems. Then go to the next topic, learn it and solve some problems. In that way, keep a balance so that you will get a good grasp of things, and also that is much better way of learning. So the first step is learning the programming language. The second step is learning data structures and algorithms. And once you're comfortable with this, like you're kind of done with these two steps, then slowly learn a little bit of basics of OS, DBMS, and computer networks, and oops also. So these are like very important things. For example, if you are learning Java here, then that means automatically you must be good with oops also, because Java is like object oriented programming purely. Python, C++ also are object oriented program, but they are not pure object oriented program, because in Java it's kind of like you will kind of need classes for everything. Yeah, excuse me. Yeah. So try to learn a grasp of like OS, DBMS, computer networks, and oops. These are not only required for your interviews. These are like all our computer science fundamentals. These are like things which are good to know, so that you will kind of understand in and out like how applications are working and how systems are interacting over the networks, like how data is being stored in DBMS, and how how we are kind of using hardware via OS, kind of how the OS is kind of managing multiple processes, and also you'll kind of learn a little bit of threading those things. All these things will be covered when you learn the little basics of. Also spend some time on each one of them. Some time on operating system, some time on DBMS, some time on computer networks, some time on OOPS, and if possible, and if you're interested, learn a little bit of basics of compilers also, like what goes under the hood of compilers, and how that AST is built, and how it is converted to the our machine code, machine language, those things. So if possible, go for compilers, but it's kind of optional for freshers. I mean, no one expects you to know how compilers work in and out. Like very few people will know. Like as a fresher level, learning a little bit of basics of OS, DBMS, network soup should be good enough. So try to master one good program. Try to choose one programming language. Try to master it. Master in the sense, like if you know the idea, you should be in a position to implement the code. So the converting your idea to code should not be a big problem once you master a programming language. Then to getting that idea, like see, the first step is like if you are good at programming language and if your concepts are clear, then you can convert your idea to code. But getting that idea is not easy always. So for that will take help of data structures and algorithms. So whenever like you want to solve some problems, you need to know a lot of things. So that can be mastered by learning data structures and algorithms. And once that is done, learn the OS, DBMS, networks, and OOPS, so that you will get to know the fundamentals of computer science, and like you will be able to appreciate the things much better way. So once these all are done, so you must be good enough for from interview perspective. But apart from this, try to do one project also. So you can pick one small as simple app as like to do app, or some clone of some Amazon or something, like some website or something, whatever, like some, or you can build some website for your college festival, like fest, college fest also, something. So pick up some small project, like some website or some app or some application, something, whatever it is. So try to build one good project, and this should be good enough for your interviews. So once you complete all these three steps, or parallelly also you can do your project also along, like, because take learning data structures and algorithm is not like it won't happen over the night. It will take some few weeks or few months. So in the meanwhile, try to spend some time on these things also, and as well as on your project also. Once these are done, start applying for jobs. Definitely, if you like spend your time very well in learning the above things, definitely you will land into a good SDE. And also once these completely are done, then prepare from interview perspective. So whatever we learn, we just learn theory and practice we have implemented. So this is for learning perspective. But in interviews, like the amount of time that is given for solving 2 to 3 problems is very less. Like some companies even like gives only 45 minutes to solve two questions, and the two questions also like they will be above medium level. So that won't happen. I mean, it's very rare. I mean, unless you know the questions, or unless you know the topics, or if you haven't seen the similar patterns, it's very difficult to solve those kind of questions in a straight manner in that limited amount of time. You may solve if you give, like if you take a lot of time, you may solve, but there the fast also matters. So prefer revising from sites like interview bit, so that you will get good grasp of like things like the, and you will be like, well, kind of what should I say, like you are like kind of well prepared for interviews from. And because the reason for choosing interview bit is like, they have like covered like those are the questions that comes in general interviews. Actually you I don't know whether you will believe or not, like most of the companies, like you will see, if you complete all the questions from interview bit now, you will see that most of the questions are kind of repeating also in interviews. You will directly like you will encounter the same questions whatever you solved in interview bit, or not even late code also, whatever the site. So pick one side. Once you are done with all these things, pick one side, late code or interview, and do problems consistently and do revise things. And once you are able to do all these things, definitely you will land into a good job. And also I'm planning to do some videos on like by solving some problems on from interview bit also. So please show your support by liking this video and sharing this video with your friends, and also subscribing to my channel. Please please support us, guys. Yeah, I hope this video was helpful for at least for one person. Yeah, thanks for watching this video. Yeah, please like, share, and subscribe. Yeah, thanks, guys.